Oh my god! Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4 just got a trailer and a release date during the Switch 2 Direct, about a month and a half ago. Yeah, I know I'm late to the function, but you can't blame me. I just started a new job pretty much a little over a week before it was announced, and I got an adult too every once in a while. But now that the important life changes are out of the way, we can talk about how important and life changing Deltarune is going to be when it drops June 5th. Really June 4th, but more on that later. I do a skit of me reenacting my reaction to the trailer, but my dentist said I can't do any physical activity, so there goes that plan. But let's just say there are some genuine tears and shed and actual screams were let out when I actually did react to it IRL. That's not a joke either. I legitimately teared up seeing the tagline, Deltarune is waiting, because I know how long we've all waited for this, and to see that line practically saying it's finished and waiting for us is just so amazing. But anyways, in this little video essay, or whatever the hell you want to call it, we're going to be discussing pretty much everything that has happened from April 2nd of this year to the time of this video releasing and what to expect for the home stretch to early June. If you want to watch more videos like these, make sure to hit that silly little, stupid little, sexy little subscribe button down below, and consider leaving a comment below about whatever you want really. I can't think of any prompts off the top of my head, but yeah, do that anyway now, please. I'm going to try and get 1K subs before the end of the year, so anything really does go a long way for me. Back to me freaking out about things and games I like. To start things off, what an amazing yet extremely small trailer. While it was exciting and fun to jump out of my couch, not focusing on the trailer because I was yelling too loud, going back and look at it, it seems kind of dinky. Maybe that's a good thing, I'm not entirely sure if it is or not, but there really wasn't that much to go back and analyze due to it only being around a minute long, with the first half being Toby Fox fucking around in his iconic fursuit. We got a few snippets here and there of some Chapter 3 and 4 footage that looks like a rhythm minigame, the Switch 2 mouse control minigame, which looks really fun by the way, and even some Chapter 4 overworld gameplay. Not too much, but like I said, probably for the best due to Toby Fox usually trying to keep his game spoiler free, but I digress. I'm not entirely sure which of the new clips are either Chapter 3 or 4, but we'll find out in less than a month anyway, so it doesn't really matter all too much. But at least with the Chapter 4 overworld footage, we finally get confirmation of what the aesthetic will be. And honestly, Church is kind of a fire idea for the halfway point of the game. I was expecting the Church Dark World to be somewhat later, like Chapter 6 or so, but 4 is a pretty interesting concept. Maybe it can be like the Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 2, where a lot of iconic, important events happen, like exactly halfway through the game. Personally, I don't think there will be too much Dark World gameplay in Chapter 4 due to Toby Fox tweeting that there were segments in the Light World so long that he debated whether or not to put a save point in the Light World. So maybe the Church chapter can be like a short breather chapter with a pretty simple aesthetic. Or hell, maybe it's both. Maybe Chapter 4 is both extremely important and has the longest Light World segment in the game. I don't really know, honestly. But anyways, other than that, we also got a half a second clip of Tenna, Mike, whoever it is really in their 3D form. If the whole Chapter 3 boss is 3D, that would actually be kind of amazing. Since Chapter 3 is going for that TV vibe, I can see the boss swapping animation styles like through phases, or maybe even through its idle animation or something. Not really much to go off of for that one either, due to it, being like a blink's length, but still interesting to say the least. Jesus, I cannot talk. Least. Oh, and also, very important side note, some Nintendo news sites, I don't remember which one, and I refuse to look it up because I'm lazy, posted another Mike/Tenna/mystery TV Goober design nonchalantly on an article. We don't get to see his full color palette due to it being what looks like a statue of the character, but it's still cool to see, especially after we thought we got all the Deltarune info we would get that day, so late at night. Oh, and right after that, an entire newsletter dropping right after, with Toby Fox clarifying up some broader details about the release. So yeah, pretty eventful day for Deltarune, to be honest. Since then, there have been minute news drops here and there. There was a newsletter a few days ago at the time of recording this, clarifying some release date misconceptions floating around the internet, like, will Japan get it earlier? And I think the short answer was no, because the US now gets it like June 4th in the morning, but will also be ready for Switch 2 at launch. And let me tell you, what a miserable day that is going to be for me. Are you telling me 2 entire Deltarune chapters are releasing 12 hours before I get to play it on Switch 2? That is truly the worst day of my entire life. I know. Send me fucking prayers. Also, alongside the newsletter was a bunch of hoo-ha, fooey, nothing burgers on the Spam Sweepstakes website. Apparently there were added secrets and mysteries added up to the hype, but for the first time in UGDR history, I wasn't that excited because I watched another YouTuber's video on it and it was nothing but like not even half full MP3 files of sound effects and the occasional dancing cat gif. Like, that's it. I'm sure that rocked someone's socks off, but it just didn't do it for me, I'm gonna be honest. And that leaves us with yesterday. At the time of writing the script, the official Undertale/Deltarune X account, Twitter, posted a 2-second clip of Chapter 3 with Chris investigating some pile of Azrael's dust to get a measly 10 points added to their score. Now that is actually interesting to me. I like this clip a lot because not only is it the only time in Deltarune history where they showed off any kind of gameplay footage before a chapter's release, but also it makes me think there is going to be a score counter somewhere in the game, and those hidden 10 points are going to make or break a very important feature of the game. Like, for example, the secret boss can only be reached if you have 80 points, but the main story only gives you 70, and this video is showing where to find the remaining points for the game even releases because they know the player would not have any context whatsoever and would have to recall to it later. I don't know, this is just a theory, just a wild guess, I guess. And yeah, that pretty much clears up the massive recap I've been meaning to do for a while now, but just couldn't find it in me, or the time to do so. But now we move on to what I personally am going to expect for these last few weeks. I definitely think there are going to be more obscure, random 2-second clips posted like the Dust video before then. Like maybe like 1 or 2, depending on how frequently they decide to post, maybe getting closer and closer to release. I can see them doing another one for Chapter 4 and maybe like a small snippet of whatever the cliffhanger is going to be at the end of Chapter 4 leading into Chapter 5 to get us excited. Even for after Chapter 1 and 4 are officially dropped in June. I don't know. I'm not expecting just too much craziness for the rest of May. I believe most of the inevitable cryptic Gaster posting is going to start like June 2nd or so. Maybe. I don't think there'll be any more newsletters before release, but I can very easily see them posting one just shortly after launch, like some kind of status update on the official Deltarune site. And with that, I think that pretty much gets all of my thoughts building up these past 2 months out of my brain onto Google Docs/video format. So with that, if you want to see any other kinds of videos from me, like video speculations or theories regarding other games in Deltarune, let me know. And yeah, bye, goodbye.